Jessica, what inspired you to move to the United States?
Well, since I was a kid, I feel like, so I was born and raised in Mexico City. And I feel like since I was a kid, I was always with that mindset that I was not going to live there all my life, you know? Mm-hmm. So I remember I used to tell my parents I was going to live in another country. And my dad was always telling me, you know, you are going to do whatever you can imagine, right? Awesome. So as I kept growing, my life took me to technology, to the technology field. And then from there, I saw that there was a possibility for me to live in another country. So when I was 24 years old, I decided to apply within the company where I was working to two different opportunities. One was for Spain and the other one was for US. So they accepted me for both.
Both of them. That's amazing.
So I was like, wow, what do I do, right? Going to Spain or US? So for me, for the challenge, you know, like a different culture and also different language, and also closer to my family, because I'm very close to my family, I decided to go for US. And then on January 2024, I moved here. And
you just moved?
I'm sorry, 2014.
2014, I was like, you just moved?
Yeah, no, I've been here for 10 years, yeah.
Okay. Oh, almost the same time I moved here.
Yeah? Yeah.
I moved in September 2014, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 10 years. What surprised you here for the first time?
Wow, well, when I moved here to Arizona was the first state where I was living. So for me, being from Mexico City, I was like very used to see people walking.
Yeah.
Here, you cannot go like walking anywhere.
Walkable.
Yeah, you have to drive, and also if you walk, it's too hot sometimes, you know. So you don't get to walk as much unless you go hiking. But yeah, that was my first shock. Like, why is nobody outside? Everybody was like in their cars or inside the buildings.
And what did you like about the U.S. when you just came?
So I lived in San Francisco and also here. And what I like, I'm going to focus in Arizona because this is my place. I love it here. The weather is fantastic. Even though it's very hot, I feel like I got used to it. You can just like go outside in the sunlight and then just go to the pool. I don't know, life is very relaxing here. So
comparable to San Francisco?
To San Francisco. Yeah, San Francisco for me was too cold. But I was already used to this weather. So for me, when I went to San Francisco, I was like, oh no, this is too cold for me. I'm just coming back home. Because this is home for me now.
Your company that hired you, was it in Arizona or San Francisco?
I'm sorry?
The company that hired you? You said that you applied for two companies.
Yeah. So when I moved here, this company is an Indian company, and they had different offices around the world. So initially I was working in Mexico City, and then they opened an office here in Arizona, in Phoenix. So that's why I moved here to Arizona.
Why did you go to San Francisco?
Oh, that's a different story. So when I was working in this company, I eventually quit. I started my own business. And
so you moved and you started to work for this company, and then you quit.
I quit.
How many years later you quit?
Like 3 years later.
3 years later. Why did you quit?
I quit because while I was working with them, I also started a business with my then partner, and this business was doing really, really good. It was car detailing.
Car detailing.
And I was just at that point of my life where I didn't want to work for someone else, and I wanted to own my own time. So I decided to quit because I was already at that point financially where I was able to, right? So that's what happened. I also learned a lot from the IT company, right? To make all the processes and sales, because I was in sales. And all the business part of things. So when I started my own business, I did put that into practice with my own company.
For the car sales, right?
Cars.
That's why you moved to San Francisco?
No.
We will be back to San Francisco.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, when you started your business, what kind of steps did you take to start it? Let's say somebody wants to do the same you did, you know?
Of course, like the legal part, right? Like all the paperwork, you have to create a corporation or like a LLC, depending on what you are looking for. And depending on the state, you just go to the corporation part of the state where you are located at. You select a name, you create the LLC or the corp, depending on where you're going for. And then you go for the EIN number. Well, that's with the legal part, right?
Yep.
Then, for me, we started buying a bunch of trucks, work trucks.
Okay.
And we bought the equipment. But of course, we didn't have like that kind of money at that time. So we required a loan at that moment. So we got the trucks, all the equipment. We hired people. We started with 2 people. And then it was my partner and myself. So it was 4 people.
How much money do you need to have to start this business?
So for this business, honestly, it was really, I'm going to say cheap, because we only needed around $8,000. And especially when it comes to the, immigrant community, you have so much help sometimes. So you just get to people, in my case, for the work trucks, for example, we got them from dealerships that were owned by immigrants as well. So they help you a lot to get the financial part of the vehicle. So,
okay.
So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. And what happened next?
So next, we were doing really well. But also, since I quit my job, I was only depending on this business, right?
Yeah.
And my relationship at that point with my partner at that time, it started to be very problematic, very toxic. And then he started being very controlling to the point that I was not allowed to touch any money.
Was he from Mexico, from America?
American.
American.
He was American.
Okay.
And then, so I was married to him, and then he started making, I was like, I don't appreciate how you are treating me. I think I'm just going to, go away.
Have you ever felt like underappreciated by American because he's an American and you're a Mexican?
Absolutely. 100%. He used to make comments like that, like, you're just a Mexican, you owe me my, the status here. And I was just like, for me, you have the business, like, it's not like I was needing him because I had already a good job. I was already very independent, like financially, making even more money than him. So it was just like, not like that at all. But I feel like because of all these narratives that immigrants just come here and then we're pretty much like the non-wanted guest. This kind of hate creates these kind of comments, right?
Yeah.
Or culture, I don't know. But I do remember he used to make threats as well for, I'm a green card holder. And he used to be like, I'm just going to say that you marry me illegally. And like,
what was the reason for him to say that? What he wanted?
Because I wanted to live. I wanted to live after, so we were married, right? And after a while, he was just treating me really wrong, like very wrong, like abusive, physically, economically, like all the ways of abuse he was putting on me, right? So yeah, at that point I was just like, I don't need this life. So it was one point of my life that it was too bad that I had to run away from my home at that point with nothing. That's why I went to California, San Francisco, because I escaped.
Did he
saving my
abuse
life.
you?
Yes.
He did?
Yes. So I had to save my life, and I didn't want him to find me. So I moved to San Francisco.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
It just didn't make any sense to me. When you said that you moved to Arizona, then San Francisco, I was confused.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I moved to San Francisco. I lived there for 1 year, and I was very blessed to have family there who helped me. Because this is a part where, it's very hard to ask for help. Very, very hard sometimes. Especially when you are like growing as an independent woman, that you want to prove that you are, you know, strong. And
You can do everything by yourself.
Everything, right.
Were you ashamed of what happened in your life?
Absolutely. I was extremely
Did you
ashamed.
tell anybody? No.
No, nobody knew. I was ashamed because it's always this, how do you call it? These labels that we put on people when they are going through this. And I was one of those. So I really don't blame anyone for thinking anything about people who goes through domestic violence, because I used to think, you know, they are weak. I would leave them if I was you. But when I was in that situation, I don't even know in what moment it happened. I consider myself as a smart woman. I have my career. I have my MBA. Like,
You never thought it could happen
I
to you,
never
right?
thought. I never thought. So when this happened to me, I was like, I felt dumb. I was like, why? Like, I just didn't understand. So because I was feeling that way, I thought if I share this with someone else, they were going to think the same about me, and I didn't want that. So yeah, that's what happened. And then I was just at that point where I learned that asking for help doesn't make you weak, but instead it makes you stronger, you know, because that's the point where you are accepting that something is wrong in your life, and that in fact you cannot do it all. You know, sometimes you need someone to help you, and it's just like a cycle, because just as you help people, others can help you as well, and it just keeps happening like that, and it's okay.
What helped you to understand? Because you said at that point you couldn't understand how you got in this situation, right? You felt like it was normal, I feel, right?
At one point, yeah.
At one point, because if it happened, it means that you didn't notice it, right? It was normal for you.
Right.
That's how it happens usually.
Right.
And what helped you to understand that something was going wrong?
Right. So yeah, I feel like I normalized it a lot, and I still had the hope that things could change if I did things different. If I did, you know, so I feel like I just kept trying to change myself constantly to make this person love me, you know, and it was
To accommodate his needs,
exactly.
right? Okay.
So when I realized that literally didn't matter anything I did, everything was wrong for him. It's when I was like, wow, at this point I cannot do anything else. I did it all. So accepting that I cannot control someone else's actions and accepting that I cannot change that person was the step number one. And the step number two was, if I don't want this situation to happen to me again, the only thing I have in control right now in my hands is myself. So I need to make the change.
Did he make you feel like you need to come back to Mexico?
He did. He did. He told me multiple times he was gonna send me to Mexico.
He's gonna send.
He was going to send me to Mexico, and I was just like, no, you know, because this was my dream to just have that international exposure, and I was not gonna allow anybody to take that from me.
Good. That's good. What happened next when you moved to San Francisco?
So I started working with my uncle, and then I started connecting with people back home in Mexico, and then that's how I created my first company without my ex-husband, which was Q Talent.
Q Talent.
Q Talent. It's a headhunting firm. And then we help companies to work to find the best talent for like the C levels, and also specialties like technology, pharma, etc.
That's awesome. How did this idea come to your mind?
Well, because when I started working, my first job was as a recruiter. So I already had the experience, and also experience in sales. So I already knew a few people, and it was very easy to start it because I only needed my computer and a LinkedIn page, and honestly reaching people through that, you know, through LinkedIn.
What was the most challenging in this situation for you?
Money. Money, for sure.
Money is everywhere.
Yeah, money for sure. So when I escaped from this abusive situation, I left with nothing. This person literally locked me out my accounts like I had nothing. And I also didn't want to reach to him because I knew what he wanted, that it was for me to come back. So he wanted to control me by not giving me access to, make me need him.
Yeah.
So I didn't do it. And I just prefer to struggle. And that's why my family helped me here, right? Like I lived for a little while with them.
That's good you had a family.
Yes, I'm very blessed. And I feel like, and not only my family, honestly, people that didn't even know me helped me when they knew about my situation, because that's how I started speaking up about it. Like domestic violence and, like...
Why did you speak about it?
What?
Where?
There in San Francisco, when people were asking me, hey, what brings you here? I started talking about it. And not to put myself as a victim, but more for awareness. Because, as I said, I didn't know it was going to happen to me. And I feel like we all go in life thinking that nothing is going to happen to us. But when it happens, like it just grabs you by surprise, and it's something that we don't have to go through if we have the tools that I didn't have, but I would like to share with people, like how to identify in what moment it happened. And now that I look back, things that I can see that I could have changed for it not to happen. However, I wouldn't change anything because that's what got me here. And that's how I founded BA Butterfly, which is my nonprofit.
I like this approach. Can you recommend to our viewers what should they do if they got in this situation?
If you are going through domestic violence, the first thing you have to do is go closer with your loved ones. Honestly, one of the first things that abusers do is take you away from them. And that's like the worst mistake we can do. Like, just, don't be in contact with our loved ones, because that makes us weaker.
What if people don't have anybody, but they just by themselves here? Where should they go to?
Okay, so that was my case. Here in Arizona, I was by myself. I didn't have anybody. So what I recommend is community. There are so many nonprofits. And also, like for immigrants, we can always go to our consulates. They provide a lot of help to us for us to not have to go through this kind of problems. They usually have programs that help their people to, I don't know, if you're going through domestic violence, they help you with some money, for rent, or with lawyers at lower cost. So it's many help out there that you can use.
Thank you. And I just want to go back to your new business. You said that the biggest challenge was money. Why and for what did you need money for?
Well, mostly for surviving, no? At that point, it was
not for work.
No, for work, I had my laptop and I had my, pretty much my computer was my place of work, right? So, that was pretty much what I was using. And
how long did it take you to go to the next level when you feel relaxed?
It took me about 1 year.
1 year.
About 1 year. Yes. It was hard, but honestly, as I kept seeing myself growing back to who I used to be, it was fantastic. And it just kept giving me more energy to keep going.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And right now, like, we have around 250 people working for us.
Really?
Yeah, and we have presence in all of Ibero-America.
That's impressive. And you started it by yourself?
No, I have a partner.
You have a partner?
I have a partner.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I learned, right? Like, we need to work with others in order to grow faster.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's impressive.
Yeah.
But it was back in San Francisco. And you're in Arizona again. What happened?
Oh my gosh. Well, San Francisco was great for me. It was a place where I learned to be by myself and enjoy myself. I remember I used to go to Pier 39 and walk all the way to Pier 1. Take the ferry.
I'm not really familiar with San Francisco now.
Well, I used to take the ferry to get to San Francisco because it was just a beautiful. It's like a
pier, okay,
with a lake, and then it's just beautiful, like very peaceful. And at that point, I needed so much peace. That's why I love like water. Like water around me is like my place. That's how I find peace. And every time I used to go there, like it was just like taking myself to dates. So it was very nice to be in San Francisco. Like I revealed myself there. But I missed Arizona. The weather, I missed it so much. Like the sunlight. Back then it was extremely like cloudy. So I don't know if it happens to you, but for me, when the sky is cloudy, it makes me feel sad.
Yeah,
like that.
It does. That's why I moved from Minneapolis to Los Angeles. Yeah, I like sun.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't need that at that point. I just wanted to be back here with the beautiful sunlight and then just keep going.
So you just moved back to Arizona because it didn't matter where to work from for you, right?
I'm sorry?
Because you work from your computer, using your computer. It didn't matter where you lived, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you keep doing what you did before. You still have this company?
Correct. We still have this company running and growing, and also the nonprofit.
Nonprofit. You started a nonprofit. What kind of nonprofit?
It's to support survivors of domestic violence. And I actually found the way to work smart, which is
Love it.
which is like through Acute Talent, we created a program that helps survivors to find jobs within corporations. And we also provide training for them so they can increase their income. And this helps a lot when it comes to cases of, when they have cases where they are fighting for the custody of their children.
What qualifications do people need to have to apply for a job in your company?
So for this program for survivors, we don't need any experience. We train them. And we also coach them to have interviews, how to have interviews. We help them build their LinkedIn profile, resume. Like we pretty much help them to do everything. It's a program that lasts about 6 months.
Okay.
It is a long time, I know, for many, but it is very worth it because you get a certificate, and then this certificate helps you to get employed. So our goal is that by the end of this program, the survivors get hired or placed within a company.
To be hired in your company or any other companies?
Any other companies. Like we help them find a job during this period. We also, through Acute Talent, have a few partnerships, and they also support us in that case. Like sometimes they tell us, you know what, I need 15 people that are IT support. So we started the training for survivors for them to take these positions.
How can people find you?
So through social media, BAButterfly_org, that's the handle, or our webpage, www.babutterfly.org.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I feel like it's really amazing what you're doing because you're supporting people. And supporting people is the most important, especially when people are in the hard situations. You know it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And do you remember the hardest time in your life being as an immigrant here in the United States?
Yes, where I didn't have anywhere to go after I left, and also not wanting to ask for help because I was embarrassed. I feel like that was my lowest point. That day when I left, I had to go to a homeless shelter because I didn't know what to do, right?
And did they help you?
They helped me.
How they help people?
They allow me to stay there.
Oh, just to stay?
Yeah. And then I didn't stay there for many days, but I do remember that So I didn't go to an actual place for domestic violence survivors because at that point I didn't know it existed, or it does. They are like very secure locations, but in this case I went to an actual homeless shelter that helped me, and you just have to get there at certain time, and then you just have a place to sleep. You can get a place, like a steady place, and you pay a little bit of money just to help you. I don't know exactly how much because I didn't stay that long, but yeah, that was my lowest point. Like I felt like after having a lot, or at that point I felt like I had everything and then I had nothing. That was like very shocking for me.
Did you want to come back to Mexico at that
No.
point? Still no?
No.
She's a tough one.
Correct. I was like, my family's there, my mom, my dad, and everything, but I'm a thriver. And I just can't allow myself to just quit. I need to at least put a fight for me to be like, okay, I need to just quit and just go back home. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, amazing. And did you have any funny situations with your language? Sometimes we speak and we say like wrong word in a sentence,
Yeah.
and it means completely different.
Yes, absolutely. Many times.
What would you recommend to the people who are in the same situation?
Embrace yourself. Like, I'm Mexican,
Ukrainian?
so you just have to embrace it. We have an accent, and that's what makes us who we are, like this
Just shows
us.
that we know one more language, right?
Yes, exactly. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, don't be afraid to speak, even if you make mistakes. People understand you, right?
Exactly. And I feel like, especially in this world right now, many people here in the US come from so many other countries, and we all have an accent. Even people who live here, like you can tell people from, I don't know, Oklahoma, Missouri, LA.
They do have accents.
They have accents too, so
Yep.
yeah, it
That's
just
true.
happens.
Yeah. What do you think about the immigration situation in US right now?
Well, I feel like there's a lot of hate going, especially because it's a false misconception of what immigrants are. I feel like we as immigrants, believe it or not, love this country just as much because of all the opportunities that are given to us and that we earn because we're very hardworking. I feel like sometimes when you live in a place already, you don't value things. However, when you don't have them and then you start seeing them or earning them, you value them even more. So all the immigrants that are working and making this country better,
Yeah.
we value this country. I'm gonna say it way better than people that have lived here all their lives.
Yeah, that's true, and I love that you're saying that.
Yeah,
It's like if you have a curly hair, you want a straight hair,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens like that.
It's with the life the same. Have you ever felt that you were treated in a bad way as an immigrant here in the United States?
If I've been treated bad?
Like, yeah.
Yes, in the beginning. My English wasn't as good. So I did have a thicker accent. And I remember that I went to Subway. And I was like, okay, I want lettuce. I was just telling this girl, and she was making faces, and I felt like, yeah, it made me feel really bad.
Yeah.
But that was like the only situation. Other than that, I feel like in general, people I've met and people that I have surrounded myself with, mostly have been really good to me.
Awesome. It's good to hear. Yeah, I feel like the most of the people are good,
Yeah.
but we have some situations.
Yeah.
But I feel like those situations just make us stronger, right?
Absolutely.
Hi, Samira.
Hi, welcome.
Samira, I can't wait to hear your journey from Venezuela to the United States. What inspired you to move here?
Well, I born in Venezuela, and my parents are Middle Easterns. They're from Palestine, and I went to Palestine when I was 15 years old. and I marry in Palestine. And my husband used to live here before we marry. So when I married my husband, we travel. We came to the States, and we start our life in this wonderful country.
So he used to live in the United States. Was he born here?
No, he came when he was 4 years old.
Okay, and when he came back to Palestine?
He came to marry me.
Oh, just to marry you?
Yes.
Aha!
Yes.
How did you find him?
Well, we are traditional marriage, so that's how it was,
No, can you tell more?
It's it's not an arrangement marriage, but it's more traditional. Like, he come and he find a good wife for him, and that's how it happened.
Do you remember that moment?
Yes, I did, because I wasn't prepared, because I didn't speak the language. So I learned Arabic here when I came to the United States. When I married my husband, it was a little bit hard because we cannot communicate. I only speak Spanish. He don't speak Spanish. I didn't speak English or Arabic, and I have the big journey to learn both language.
That's amazing that you can do it. Can you tell me more? I'm really interested how it happens in Muslim culture. How the whole process? How did you meet him there? Like, he had to come to your house. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how it.
We are cousins. We marry cousins over there. So in our tradition, it's our family. They choose who to marry.
Okay.
And in this case, I didn't accept it. I want to choose. So even it was traditional, I choose. I didn't let my parents choose for me. I choose. So I was looking for somebody very open-minded. They give me the freedom to be who I am, to never try to change me, and to accept anything I decide. Because I don't follow rules.
Okay.
So
You're the rebel one.
yes.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too easy to find somebody to understand that when I come to the States, I want to be able to do what I want to do, respecting our traditions, respecting that I have a family to take care, but at the same time, I can be who I am and not what they want me to be. And that's exactly what happened. Since I married, he respect my decision. But, I told him, you want to be my husband? You need to let me be.
It doesn't make any difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's, do you want to do it? Good. You don't want to do it? Just not doing it. Yeah, because that's the only way. When he came to ask for my hand, I say, I am not like everybody else. I cannot follow rules. Mm-hmm. It's not, I won't do what you like me to do, but you need to respect what I want to do.
So when you met your husband, how did you know that he would not limit you?
I asked him before we marry, and I say, I will respect all the traditions, but I want to be independent. I want to be able to work. And he said, but you don't have to work. I will support you. I say, it's not about the money. It's only I feel, able to do something for myself. I think all women should be prepared for any occasion. If you lose your husband, if something happen, you need to be prepared. You cannot wait for that minute to happen. So I work all my life in sales. Because in Venezuela, my parents own a business. And since I was little, I didn't have the chance to go to school. Only when I was 12, my dad decided the school is you need to learn how to sell.
It's not necessary in Venezuela.
It is necessary. But my father was very old-fashioned and said, woman, don't go to school. You learn how to write and read, that's it. And the people in Venezuela came and talked to my dad. So you cannot do that. You cannot take your daughter out of school to work for you. And he said, with the mentality, that he has, oh no, my daughter doesn't have to go to school. She just needs to learn to cook, clean, and to work with her husband. So he decided to take me to the Middle East. When he see he can get in trouble.
That's why they moved.
Because I start knowing that I want to do my own way with my dad, it didn't work.
So he wanted to keep you away from all this freedom.
Yes.
And he moved to Palestine. Look at him. He was smart.
Yes.
But it didn't help him, right?
No, because I did what I want anyway. and that's what I try to teach my daughters, the new generation of Muslim women. They respect our culture, respect our tradition, be Muslim, be loyal to our faith, but also be independent, because a lot of women put up with a life they don't want because they don't have no way to make money or to work. In this country, we have opportunities to be what we want to be. And we came to look for the American dream. The American dream is you.
Oh, I love it. I was about to ask you, what is American dream for you?
It's yourself.
Yeah.
You can make it. Here we have freedom that we don't have in Palestine. We don't have in Venezuela right now. So I am from two countries that we don't have freedom. We don't have freedom of speech. We don't have freedom of be what you want to be. No in Venezuela, no in Palestine. Muslim woman in Venezuela and Palestine, we restrict. Like you cannot, here in the United States, being here for 40 years, I can say whatever I want. I won't go to jail for that.
See, that's interesting, because I've heard a lot of people saying here, Americans, that they don't have freedom. And I was thinking at that moment that people, you didn't know what you are talking about, because you didn't live in another countries.
Look, I think it's racist here. To now, the Black community, the Muslim community, we face racism. You have to be honest to see it's not United States the problem. It's the people that will let us feel under a normal. We pay taxes, we work like everybody else. Why can't I be treated like everybody else? I've been here 40 years. I live here more than any place. But I came like everybody else with no documents, maybe. In that time, I came with a visa, and I stay with no documents for a couple years. Do my husband do me, legal papers? So I encourage everybody, when you come here, do everything right. Be prepared, speak English, and try to have everything under the law. So when you want to face somebody saying, go to your country, say, this is my country now. Because I'm here working like you. I'm here giving opportunities, jobs to others. I'm here trying to do a better life that don't affect you, because you can do it too. I am not competing with nobody. I'm competing with myself to be better every day. That is the American dream. The American dream is not come to the United States and everything, it will be free. People come here expecting American dream to be easy. American dream is work hard to reach your dreams. It's not only you come to the United States, you are so blessed. You're not blessed if you're home sleeping.
You have a chance to live better.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean you're blessed, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. What happened next? When you came, your husband, he had job here, right?
Yes.
You didn't have to work.
No.
So
I started having kids.
How many?
I have 4 kids.
4 kids?
Yes.
And you didn't work?
Well, I used to take my 2 boys to how I started in the swap meet. The swap meet, I don't know if you know what it is. It's a place. It's a place where we go and set up a table and sell. And because I speak Spanish, I was very successful. My husband is Arabic, so he don't speak Spanish. When he used to take me, the others Arabs around us don't like it because I do better because I speak Spanish.
Oh.
I took my 2 boys, Abdul and Hussein, to the swap meet. And then I started knowing that I wanted to grow my business alone, separate of my husband. He owned a liquor store.
Oh,
So
a good business.
yes, he's a very successful owner of a liquor store for many years. And being there is not right for a Muslim woman. And still, I go to help. When he need me, I go. When he want me to be there, I go. But it's not a place that I like to go. I like to sell things for ladies like purses, jewelry, clothing, and that's why the name Samira's War Boutique, because I bring from Mexico, Turkey, Jordan, Palestine. So I want any woman come to my shop and be able to find something like, like I have normal clothes like you, and I have this special made from Oaxaca, Mexico,
Really?
and I be able to go there and to find the people they made my products. So I have a connection with each person that I buy something from.
That's amazing. Can I ask you, why are you doing this? Do you see some legacy in this?
Yes, because this type of work, not many people know how long it will take to make it. And I like to sell things different than everybody else. I want people to value what is handmade and what it take a month, 1 month to make something like this. And I don't want to be the boutique like all the boutiques. I like to, even is a challenger, to let people believe that what I have is high end quality. They prefer brand names. And to me, brand name is only a name. It's the quality what it counts. And the legacy is to leave to others do what I do, to give the opportunity to those people in their countries. They cannot come to the United States. We can send money over there so they can do a work, send us to sell it, but they don't need to come here when they don't have to. They can have their dream in their country if we provide works for them to do it there.
Yeah. That's awesome. So you give them opportunity to do what they like to do and make money on it, right?
Yes.
That's amazing. What does your day look like as a owner of a boutique? Can you tell us about your schedule so people would realize?
I like to come here by appointment because everything changed now, and this is not a traffic area. This is like an office more than a boutique. Everything look like a boutique, but most of my customers come by appointment, so that makes it very VIP, exclusive. I give them a coffee. I have dessert. They come and they receive a special treatment because when they come with a group of friends, I make sure I have wine, coffee, snacks. They will have the opportunity to a person help them. So my hours are different, depends of the schedule of my customers more than my schedule, because if they want to come 10 o'clock at night, I will come 10 o'clock at night.
Enjoy.
I'm very open to their schedule. If they want to come any weekends when I close, I open. So to me, my success in my business is the good customer service.
That's amazing. But you can't make a lot of sales like that. How do you promote
sell more online? Online. I do sell online. I think social media is what it make us be everywhere. Like Facebook, Instagram, and special TikTok. That I am not too good in TikTok. I'm still on Facebook. I need to reach and get to TikTok shoppers because I think that's what is number one right now. And if we sell online, we have freedom of be anywhere you want. You have time to spend with your family. We travel, especially like me. I got a big family, 4 kids, 5 grandkids. I have a husband. So I don't like to be from 8 to 5 in one place. I want to be able to be with my family. So I think the best thing to work is to have online business.
But online business requires work too. Do you have helpers? Do you
Yes,
have
I do. Yes, I do have a team. I have a team. They working in my website because my website no traffic. So I have somebody working and making it better. And I have a team they come and take photos, and I'm looking for a way to get to reach more customers. I need to find the right customers, and sometimes the right customers, they're not in Phoenix.
Who is your customer?
Right now, I'm looking for people that like high-end merchandise, because the Hispanic community, especially Mexican, they buy the traditional dresses when it's Mexican Independence Day, or it's like today is a special day for them, November 20. But American, they love it all year round. American customers, they admire anything handmade.
Yeah.
And I do have Middle East customers. They buy the traditional Jordanian, Palestinian dresses. So I have all kind of customers.
Yeah. What day is today? You said it's special day for Mexico.
It's the revolution anniversary for Mexico. Yes.
How do they celebrate this?
They celebrate it in Mexico like it's like independent, but they celebrate it with the president. But here, September 16 is when I sell the most, because Mexican, they dress very traditional. So I'm one of the kind boutique in Phoenix, because it's not too many. They carry Mexican dresses like I do.
It's interesting. I didn't know that Americans, I kind of like a lot this style. No, I know that they love handmade stuff.
Yes.
I didn't know they like Mexican stuff.
I went to Oaxaca. This is from Oaxaca. It's one of the places in Mexico where they have the most art, clothing. And let me tell you, what I see over there is all Americans, all Canadians, all Europeans, and they were buying so much. So that's the customer I need to find, because they really appreciate handmade products. Yes.
Awesome. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. Question for you about immigration. Even when you moved, you came with your husband. Was it hard for you to adjust here in the United States?
The hard part, it was the language. Is learn English, and learn Arabic also. The harder part is to fit in, because I see a lot of communities, they don't accept us. They think we came here to take their jobs. We came here to like, we're not taking nobody's place. I think United States is great, and it's place for anyone. I never use the government money for nothing. Never take food stamps or access or nothing. I understand when people they require that, when they start, but I never did. So I own United States the freedom to be here, but if I have something, it's because I work. I work very hard to have it. So I keep saying, that the American dream doesn't come alone. It comes with a lot of work. So I adjust to the life here. It was hard, because I have to deal with a lot of discrimination.
Do you remember? Can you tell us a specific story about it?
Yeah, I used to have a shop here in Phoenix, and twice they didn't renew the lease, and they give the opportunity to a American girl, and she sold the same like me. And I asked them, why me? I respect rules. I pay my rent. Why you not renewing my lease? And they said, we don't want both of you in here. And I said, why it have to be me? Why not her? And they told me, we don't have to explain nothing to you. So I get it. They would give the opportunity to people born here more than anybody came from another country. I see it in many places. Races, especially when they know I'm Palestinian, Muslim. Now, more than any time with what's going on in the Middle East, I face a lot of discrimination. And that's one of the reasons sometimes I don't cover because I'm Muslim, because we have a lot of haters. The war it bring a lot of people. They don't want us here.
Yeah. How immigration affected your relationship with your husband, and did it affect it at all in your family? You have different rules, in America you can do whatever you want. You can say whatever you want that you cannot do back in Palestine.
Well, I always say it, no matter where I was, Venezuela, Palestine, that I always speak my mind. That was a big problem because, I never follow rules. And everybody know around me, my parents have, my dad, 10 girls. And
10 girls?
Yes.
And you were
Six.
the sixth.
Was me the sixth one. He married my mom's second wife to find a boy. Thinking that, the first one, only 4 girls, let me marry somebody else, maybe she can have boys. So my mom have 10 kids and was number 6 girl of my father. I worked so hard to let him believe that we are equal. It's not different between a guy, a boy, and a girl. And for my father, it was. A boy value more than a girl. And I worked so hard to prove him before he died. And I told him, and I faced him, Dad, you look so much for a boy. But us, a woman, we can be kind to you. A daughter will be closer to the parents always. And I think that's one of the reasons I was speaking my mind, because I see how they separate boys with girls, and we are like less than the boy. And that's something I didn't accept.
What about your kids? Are they more Muslim or are they more like Americans?
Yes, I let them be.
You let them-
My son Abdul married Mexican. My daughter Fatima married Russian, and we broke the rules.
You have an international family now. I think that's awesome, right?
Yes,
You have different cultures in your family. I believe it helps you to respect different people too.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I think we should be closer. Anybody came from another country like Ukraine or Russian or any country, we should be like this so we can face the new life we have here.
Yeah, because everyone who comes here, she is looking for a better life.
Yes, and we should be respected. We won't allow nobody to let us feel like we are intruders or we are here taking something don't belong to us. It belongs to us because we work for it.
Yeah. Do you think life of immigrants right now is harder or easier than it was before?
It's harder. That is because the new laws, I don't want to talk about politics, but they are deporting many people. They've been here many years with no documents. And that's kind of hard for them because they have kids born here. So when you want to separate families, it's hard. It's people, they couldn't do documents legal, but their kids born here. And now they have to go. They have to leave. So they're separated lives. Family is devastated.
What would you change in the immigration policy?
I think we should leave the parents of the kids born here, and the new laws, they're not doing that. I think you cannot separate kids from their parents. If they born here, they're Americans. And being here, born here, you cannot send the parents where they came. Give them a chance to be legal. Change the immigration law so they can do documents and become American citizens, because they already have kids here. How you want to separate kids from their parents? That's hard.
Why did you choose Arizona to live in?
I didn't choose.
Didn't.
No, my husband was living here before he married me.
Did you suggest to go to another state?
I think Arizona have a lot of future, a lot of opportunities. Our prices here are great. Houses are better than most of the, a lot of places. So I think Arizona is a place to come and live.
What about the temperature in the summer?
The temperature is hot, very hot. It's one of the hottest state of our United States. But I got used to, I deal with it, and I prefer hot than cold.
Is it for how many? For 3 months?
Yes.
For 3 months, and then it's
My sister lives in Minnesota, and I don't think I can live in the winter like that.
is that where I live 35 years?
So it's too cold for me. I don't want to live in a place with snow 10 months of the year.
How do you see your life maybe in 10, 20 years?
Well, I see my life with many boutiques in different locations. That's what I'm looking, locations that I can bring my items, and like gift shops. So far, I have 4. I'm looking for restaurants in California, any place in the United States. They want me to go and open a boutique inside, like where restaurants, hair salons, spas. I want to keep doing it, but not me. I want to put my items in other places. They work and they get commission. That's how I see myself.
What are you trying to do with this? What's your point of doing this?
I want to travel. I want to travel the world, but I want to keep doing business, not doing me. Other doing it for me. But I don't want them to work for me. I want them to work for themselves. So how that will happen? If I go and pull my items, they're beautiful, and I be able to bring it to them, they don't have to invest from their pocket. They only make commission with my items, and they keep moving it. They send me my money, and I go every week, every 2 weeks, and give them inventory, and I start working with not me working, because I'm not getting any younger. I'm almost 60, and I want to travel the world.
What is your biggest dream? The biggest one that you can't almost reach?
What can I almost reach? I think I reach all my dreams.
I believe you need a new one.
Yeah.
No?
I travel the world. I have my kids, my grandkids, and I really don't have no dreams I didn't make true. Yeah.
I want to ask you, how much does it take to open the boutique, to open your own business?
I've been here almost 20 years in different locations. I was, like I said, in a very successful place where I used to make a lot of money, but they don't want me there. They don't want to renew. Twice they told me, we don't want you here. It's straight out. We don't want you here. And I said, okay, I guess I'm leaving. So I came here to Tlaquepaque, Peoria, Arizona. And I decide I have to do a lot of publicity. I have to do a lot of lives in my podcast so people know where I'm located. Now I think I reach a lot of views. People watch me. I do a lot of Facebook Live. And what I try to do in my podcast, telling all the ladies they couldn't go to school, they don't have the opportunity to have a career, to have education. Like I didn't have no even high school diploma because my dad didn't allow me to go to school. But that didn't stop me. I want to be a businesswoman. I know how to sell, so I become my own boss. And I think that's a good career.
Is it hard to open your own business?
It's not hard if you want to, because, it's a lot of opportunities like me that I have merchandise and I offer the ladies, they want to open their own business. I help you. Come, I share what I have with you, but I cannot do the job for them. I can give you to sell, but I cannot sell for you. So when I'm looking for places and I'm looking for ladies to become my ambassador, they need to do their job, not me.
You're doing your podcast, right?
Yes.
What is the name of your podcast?
Enfócate. It means focus.
Focus.
Enfócate in Spanish. It means, I do it in Spanish. So it's focus and you can reach your dreams. Because if you open a business and you're not focused on it, you lose business.
Yeah, that's true. But it's only in Spanish.
I want to start doing it in English. So
English.
I wasn't too secure if my English is good enough, but I think people can understand me. Yeah.
You're an immigrant. You have the whole right to make mistakes. I'm making mistakes. People are making mistakes. That's not our language. Yeah. And I feel we don't have to be ashamed of it.
Yeah.
We speak our own language. I speak 2 more languages, and we don't have to be perfect.
Yeah, like Sofia Vergara, she's an actress from Colombia. She speaks horrible, and she's very famous, and she makes a lot of money.
It's good.
And Salma Hayek, she's from Mexico. Her dad is from Lebanon. She have an accent. So I think I'm more confident now to speak English in public like this in our podcast. So I want to start doing my podcast in English also.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. You can attract more listeners.
Yeah, as well, yeah.
So why are you doing it?
I'm doing the podcast because I want to give to the other ladies the opportunity to learn from my experience how to do businesses. A lot of podcasts is about how to heal, how to forgive. And to me, I think everything has to do with how you feel with yourself. If you are good with yourself, if you love yourself, you can do other things. You can forgive, you don't have anxiety. Depression comes for when you're not happy with who you are. I think all the foundation of depression, it has to do with if you're happy and you love yourself, everything is easy.
It's the hardest part to love yourself.
Yes.
To be happy.
Hi, Gustavo. What inspired you to move to the United States?
Almost all my family moved to the United States before me at the time, and that was back in the late 80s. And I was the only one that wanted to stay in Mexico. So instead of moving here with them, I just moved to Cancun and to pursue my musical career. And then later, after a couple of years living in Cancun and fulfilling my dream of being a musician there, then I felt the need to reconnect with my family. So then I came here in 1994, straight from Cancun, Mexico.
How old were you when you moved here?
I was 23 years old.
I'm still young.
Yes.
Why didn't you want to move to the United States first?
When you are a teenager, you just think that you are invisible and, you have your own ideas. So at the time I was like, you know what? I don't want to go to the United States. I'm going to make it in my own country. So I just decided to stay. And plus, it was going to be the first time I was going to be on my own, without my family. So it was pretty good deal for me at the time as a teenager.
Makes sense. What made you change your decision?
It was one of those things that cultural things where, we as Mexicans, we are very, close to our families. And also I had fulfilled my dream in Cancun. So what was next? I mean, I was not going to spend the next 10 years of my life being a musician in Cancun in the hotel zone. So I wanted to broaden my opportunities.
When you are saying that you fulfilled your dream, what was your dream?
I was literally a dream that I had when I was a kid. And my dream, I was playing in front of thousands of people in the beach in Cancun.
Oh, okay.
And call me crazy or not, but I made that happen. I mean, that actually the dream that I had, it came to life a couple of years later when I was living in Cancun, and I had an exact same, description that I had in my dream. I was playing in front of thousands of people.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
3 years old, dream is fulfilled. What else?
Then after that, then I, made the trip here to the United States. By the time all my family was in here already. And it was hard because, I came straight from Cancun, where I used to go to the beach like 3-4 times a week, and come to Arizona, which is a desert, and I don't know anybody that I can play with. So I just came to pick up a day job, and I was kind of like a miserable for the first year of my life in here in Arizona.
1 year is not bad. You said that you felt bad for a year.
Yeah, it's not bad. No, it was just, I think, as an immigrant, one of those things where, I didn't know the language, first of all. So I was struggling with, I came here at 23 years old without knowing English, a word in English. And also the cultural shock, it was a little too much for me.
What shocked you?
Pretty much, the change of, you leave your place where you're born, you leave everything behind to start new. So that in itself is pretty shocking. It's like, it's a lot to take. And you know that because you're an immigrant too.
I do. That's why I'm asking you.
Yes.
Because for me, it feels it should be easier for you because these two countries are so close. Comparable where Ukraine is and the United States.
Yeah.
So you always can come back. It's easier to you. Like,
True.
you always can come back too, but it takes more time to come back. For you, it's so close. That's why, for me, it feels like it should be much more easier.
Yes.
It's not, right?
No, it's just like the sentiment and your culture that you are grown with. Even though we're close, and we are neighbors, we have two different cultures, and that was one of the things with me that I felt so disconnected from my culture that I even cried. I was like, I want to go back to Mexico. But then I was like, I'm here in a mission. So I just went straight to school to learn English. And in the first year, I finished all the 6 levels of English as a second language. Yeah.
What mission did you have?
Back then my mission was to make it all the way to New York, to connect with other musicians and start playing there. But that never happened, obviously. No, I've been to New York playing, but I never lived there.
Why?
I think I really like this state, and as I'm a single dad, and I don't see myself raising my son in any other state than Arizona. This is a really good state to raise family and kids.
But you became a dad later.
Yeah, when I was already here, I became a dad.
To Arizona first,
Yes,
and you stayed here.
I stay here the whole time. Yeah.
You never wanted to move to Los Angeles?
It was one of my goals, and that's funny because your cameraman's great grand uncle used to be my teacher.
Oh, really?
Ernie Chavarria.
Amazing. So you waited for me to come here to meet this person.
It had to be. Literally.
That's my aura,
Yeah.
Facts. I'll be on the same thing just randomly. It's like, this is beautiful. Like, when it happens, though, you can't fight it. You gotta go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I was starting with Ernie Chavarria, and the whole thing was for me, he was preparing me to go to LA and to be a successful musician, which, I'm still, in spite I didn't go to LA. But what happened is that I met my son's mother, and the rest is history. We got together, then he was born, then we got this house, and I was like, well, no more LA, bye-bye, LA.
Are you still dreaming about LA?
No.
No?
No.
You're good here?
I'm good here, yeah.
Was your wife Mexican?
American, yeah.
American.
Yes.
Did you have a lot of differences, you mean, like when you lived together?
Yeah.
In something like in habits? That's something that affected your relationship?
I think even though she knew that I was a musician, she couldn't understand at the time the magnitude of what is being in a relationship with a musician. And I was, spending a lot of time trying to, raise my family and take care of them. So that was like a little struggle right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Why did you choose American wife, not Mexican?
It's one of those things when you fall in love with someone, you don't see where you come from or your color or anything. It's just like it just happens, and it's what happened to me. I'm not gonna fight it. I have a beautiful son, an amazing, talented son, so I'm glad. I'm happy with that.
Awesome. When you just moved here to Arizona, what kind of job you had?
My first job here was rebuilding engines for cars at a factory.
Okay. For how long did you work there?
I did that for a year and a half, and I was miserable. But I was making money, and that was my first job here, so I can't complain.
You made good money at that job, but you still dreamed about it, being a musician.
Yeah, I would work. I be working and have my hands, with oil and stuff all dirty. But I would have a little notepad, and I'd be like getting ideas for songs. I'd be like writing down my songs in between, breaks and stuff like that.
What happened next?
What happened is that then there was one time where there was the first time rock in Spanish band back in '94 was playing here in Arizona, and we went to see the band, and the band was okay, but they had a really bad night, right? Long story short, my brother was bugging the leader of the band to let me, audition for them. And finally, he let me audition for them, and I got the gig. And then we established one of the most successful first rock in Spanish band here in Phoenix, Arizona, back in the 90s. And we had a lot of success with our original music.
So you got one chance and you used it.
Yes.
See, guys, that's how it works. That's how you have to do it.
I don't think chances...
Yes, be prepared.
Yeah, I don't think chances come knock at your door twice. So I've had other stories where I left the go of a chance, and I was like, oh no, what did I do to myself?
But you were prepared, right? It wouldn't be.
I was prepared, but I didn't believe the guy. That was the problem. It was like I was in Mexico, and I was inviting me to go Europe to play in Europe with this band, and we had some rehearsals and this and that. But I was like, because they were like smoking a lot of weed, right? So I'm like, I'm this kid. I'm such a young kid, and I was kind of a little scared of that. So I'm like, I don't think these guys are, doing anything good. So, so I didn't believe that. And then when I called him back the next week, his dad told me, no, he's, right now he's in Europe. He's all over Europe touring right now. I'm like, oh my God, I should have gone with them. That's why I don't let go any more opportunities, because of the same reason. They don't come twice knocking at your door.
That's true. So you started to play with that band?
I started playing, picking up the guitar when I was 14. And professionally, I started playing when I was 17.
17. And when did you start playing here? What happened next,
After the gig with the rock band, then I started, kind of like taking more the music of my culture. So I started studying flamenco guitar. I started studying Afro-Cuban music. I traveled to Cuba back in 1999.
Do you like it there?
I was staying there, living with the family for a couple of months, and learning Afro-Cuban music and how to play tres cubano and all the Cuban, stuff. The tres cubano is a small Cuban guitar.
Oh, okay.
But they have like 3 double strings, and it sounds like a piano when they play. The way they play it, all syncopated.
I want to go to Cuba, really.
Oh, you will love it. You will love it.
Safe there?
Yes. Yeah, very safe.
I don't know. I keep getting the information that it's not safe. So.
Oh, it's the safest place you can ever go. Yeah, I've seen people, tourists, walking 2 in the morning, 1 in the morning on the streets, and it's all. There's a lot of people, police, to keep the order.
But is it safe for the Americans, as white people?
Yeah, of course. There's even white Cuban people. There's a lot of Cuban people that look like you.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah.
I have to go to Cuba.
Yeah, for sure. Well, then, all my life I just like to study and get better myself, and it's like one of those things that I'm always thirsty for knowledge. So I've been in many different situations, musically talking.
Okay. What was the hardest for you? Just being the musician here,
Being in the music business, one of the hardest things is when you have personal tragedies happening to you, and you have to fulfill your contract, you have to be in front of people, putting a smile, while inside you're like,
You're not able to.
yeah, you're like falling apart inside. So and that happens to me, like when, for example, when my father passed away, or my brother passed away, I got the notice on a day that I was performing, and I had to be still up in stage and deliver. But one of those things, some of those things are really hard. One of the other things that was hard for me, I had the opportunity to do a tour in Sweden in 2012, and I had to leave my son for 2 weeks. So that was a little hard for me because he was a little kid.
To be a family man and to fulfill your career is a challenge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. What would you recommend to the people who want to be musicians here, who want to immigrate and make their career here in the United States?
I would recommend once they do it the right way, first thing of order is just learn the language. Because there's a lot of people that come here and they don't even want to bother to learn the language. And I think it's super important, if a country is giving you opportunities and you have a better life, at least you have to have the respect to, try to be a part of the society, and learn the language at least. And then, next would be, invest in yourself, invest in whatever your passion is or your career, invest, do workshops, I don't know, buy, on the internet, maybe courses to make you better, better in your field. I don't know. Those are the things that I know, that I do, actually.
Do you think it's important to have a producer, or you can produce yourself?
You can produce yourself for sure, and that's a good learning curve. Mm-hmm. But for more, competitive stuff, I would recommend, and obviously if you have the money to hire a producer, it's one of the best things you can do for yourself as far as in music, because a producer will have all the connections that you need and all the musicians. Like for me, having a Joy Navarro as a producer in Los Angeles is great, because I get all the top guys, musicians for my for my music. So,
how did you find him?
Joy is a native of Arizona too. So I've known him for 20 years at least.
Okay.
And we both had the same teacher too, which is Ernie Chavarria.
Okay, so you met through the same teacher.
Yes.
What if, let's say, I want to be a musician? I come here, I don't have money, I don't have connections. What should I do?
Then
they go.
Then probably just get a day job. First, like I did.
Makes sense.
We all have to pay our dues, right? I did pay mine.
No, it doesn't make sense.
So in here, you just get get your economics, in order, mm-hmm. And then a really good way here in Phoenix to get connected. You go to the jam sessions, and then you just go play the jam sessions, and then people are going to notice you if you are good.
Do you think New York is the best place for this, or Los Angeles, or Arizona?
I strongly think that nowadays with the technology, any place is good. It's not anymore like a mecca of music, which there are cities that are more like, artist based and leaning more to the artistry or the musicians. But I think if you have the creativity and you are talented, you don't need to even go anywhere. You just need to invest in your own equipment for recording, and you can start producing. And if you, like me, I have my own home studio. I produce my own things and my pre-production, but for really important projects, I do travel to LA. Mm-hmm. So in 1 month, that was back in September, mm-hmm. I was traveling to LA every weekend.
Oh, really?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, it was a lot of work, as you know, a lot of driving.
Are people open to give you opportunities here in Arizona if you're a new person here?
Yes.
They are?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of need for artists here, and there's a lot of people coming from all over, Texas, LA, New York, a lot of new people coming all the time, and there's always something for them too, for all of us. I think we're talking about the grant, right?
The grant?
Yeah.
Yours?
Yeah, because here in Phoenix, there's a really great grant program for artists.
Is it only in Phoenix?
It's only in Phoenix.
Only in Phoenix?
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of grant is it?
It's a grant for artists. So if you're any type of artist, it doesn't matter if it's music or graphic arts or even poetry.
Oh, really? Any?
Yeah, definitely. And you should look into that because there's so much money. I got, I don't know if I can say numbers, but I got close to $8,000 for a grant. And it's called the City of Phoenix Department of Arts and Culture.
Remember that? Keep in mind.
If you're in Phoenix, you should apply. Yeah, and I got a grant that allowed me to travel this summer to Havana, Cuba for 10 days. And I was recording all these amazing artists, including one of the legends from Buena Vista Social Club, which is called, his name is Barbarito Torres. And he's like an icon when it comes to Cuban music. And yeah, he was in the studio with us and he recorded. And so I'm so happy about that.
That's cute. What are the requirements to receive these grants?
Well, the category that I apply under was continuous artistic growth.
How do you prove it?
I had to work on a video. I put together a video all of my work and my clips with important concerts that I had, and demonstrating how I've been learning new things and I've been, learning new styles. And I put everything in a video and I send it to them. And obviously I apply it, online. And I think the video is what got me the grant.
Is it state program? Who is funding
it? It is a state program.
State.
Yeah.
Do you know if New York has the same?
I'm pretty sure every major city should have programs like this. So it's a matter of looking out for those and really, getting the time and putting the time to fill out the paperwork and do everything, the application. Because a lot of artists, we are like a right brain, right?
You?
Like we do all creative stuff, but when it comes to more like, administrative stuff, we don't like that. So I force myself to develop that other side of my brain for this, to get money, because it's money. I mean, no one needs to give you money for free, so.
Yeah, you have to work for money, right?
Yeah.
What do you think is the most challenging in immigration in general?
That's a hard topic, especially nowadays, that it's, immigration is like, there's always been immigration. I think that the hardest as an immigrant, as in my story, it was to learn the culture of the United States and be a part of it and not be afraid of speaking the language. Because sometimes, when you don't know the language and you barely starting practicing, people will make fun of you, right? of your accent. Sometimes, I used to.
They do. But it wasn't like in a bad way. It just maybe in a fun way for them. I wouldn't say that people want to insult you. It just sounds funny to them. If somebody would speak my language, then make some mistakes in a funny way. Because I never felt that people were rude to me about my accent or about my mistakes. It was my problem, I think. My mindset,
Yeah.
When you are afraid more to talk because you think that you are making mistakes, you don't.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
And it's not about the people around you; it's about you.
Yeah.
And you have to overcome this fear.
Yeah. Well, I don't have that fear anymore. I'm.
It's amazing.
That's for a little bit.
What would you recommend to the people who want to immigrate to the United States? How much they need to have just to feel comfortable here when they immigrate, Maybe for, let's say, the first 6 months?
Yeah. Well, it depends what city, because I mean, LA right now is exorbitant, right? So, yeah. I mean, I would say maybe, I mean, here in Arizona is, is a little better in prices. So, I would say like maybe you just have enough to live on your own for 6 months.
6 months.
And until you get a job or something.
How much would it be?
Maybe, well, throw a number. Yeah, it's gonna be hard. It depends on everybody's pockets, but I would say maybe $5,000.
5,000. How much does it cost to rent a studio here in Arizona?
Studio here, I would say at least $1,500.
What accomplishments you are most proud of since you moved to the United States?
That's a great question. My biggest accomplishments in life, first of all, is my son. My son is, I don't want to brag about him, but he's going to be the second generation musician. He's 14 and he's already singing and playing, and he was killing it this summer in Havana, Cuba, along with me. He was every place we walked in, they had live music exciting with the band, and people were like impressed.
But let me ask you, was it his desire to learn or it was yours desire?
It's always been my secret desire for him to be a musician.
Oh,
but he never wanted to be until he saw me playing with a really famous band at a arena in front of 20,000 people. I won a contest, and then this famous band from Mexico, they are like probably like 20 Grammys won and 30-year career, and they picked me as the winner to play with them, and I was awarded with a new guitar by them, and it was really nice, and it was such a lot of people, like it was so many people.
How did it feel?
Well, when he saw me doing that, I was like, Dad, can you teach me how to play guitar now? So I'm like, all right, now I know what he wanted. He wanted to be like back, in that stage. So
how long he is doing that?
Him?
Yeah.
Well, I put his guitars in his hands when he was 5 years old.
5 years old.
So
actually, from when he started to play, when
he started playing 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
I'm sorry, when COVID started, back in 2021, 2020. 2019, I think.
2019? Oh my God. It's been 5 years.
I think so, yeah.
5 years.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
Feels like yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And he's still enjoying playing guitar.
Oh, yeah. He's making money now, playing some music. And he's got other offers for interviews, too. And he's on his little way, to...
But, he has a good support.
Yes.
You want to play something for us?
Yeah.
Please.
Hopefully that dog won't start.
Oh, the dog.
Something like that.
Bravo!
I could do something else. Maybe try to sing a little bit for you. Let me see. En el barrio La Cachimba se ha formado la corredera. En el barrio La Cachimba se ha formado la corredera. Allá fueron los bomberos con sus campanas y sus sirenas. Allá fueron los bomberos con sus campanas y sus sirenas. Ay, mamá, ¿qué pasó? Ay, mamá, ¿qué pasó? En el barrio La Cachimba se ha formado la corredera. En el barrio La Cachimba se ha formado la corredera. Allá fueron los bomberos con sus campanas y sus sirenas. Allá fueron los bomberos con sus campanas y sus sirenas. Ay, mamá, ¿qué pasó? Ay, mamá, ¿qué pasó? En cuanto de Tula se cogió candela, se quedó dormida y no apagó la vela. Un cuarto de Tula se cogió candela, se quedó dormida y no apagó la vela. Un cuarto de Tula se cogió candela, se quedó dormida y no apagó la vela. Un cuarto de Tula se cogió candela, se quedó dormida y no apagó la vela. All improvised. You're welcome. Well, I mean the ending.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you.